Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate. All right. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 17, text number 7. Translated and commented upon by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Tvamna Mrinalat Avala
Dvamba Mrinala Davala.
Padairanniyuna Padacharan
Padainyuna Padacharan.
Vrisharupena Kim Kaschit
Visharupena Kim Kashit.
Devana Parikhedayan
Devona Parikedayan. Dvamba Mrinala Davala.
Tvamna Mrinala Davala
Padainyuna Padacharan.
Padaniyuna Padacharan
Visharupena Kim Kachit.
Vrisharupena Kim Kaschit
Devona Parikedayan.
Devana Parikhedayan Tvamna Mrinala Davala Padaniyuna Padacharan Vrisharupena Kim Kaschit Devona Parikedayan
Tvamvam Mrinala Dhavala
Tvamna Mrinala Dhavala
Padainyuna Padacharan
Padaniyuna Padacharan
Vrisharupena Kim Kaschit
Vrisharupena Kim Kaschit
Devona Parikedayan
Devona Parikhedayan Tvam
Tvam
yourself
yourself.
Va
Dva
either
Either.
Mrinala Davala
Mrinala Davanala.
as wide as the lotus
As wide as the lotus.
Padair
Padai
by 3 legs
by 3 legs.
Noinam
Nyunam
being devoid of
being devoid of.
Pada
Pada
by 1 leg
by 1 leg.
Charan
Charan
moving
moving.
Vrisal
Vrisha
bull
bull.
Rupena
Rupena
in the form of
in the form of
Kim
Kim
weather
weather.
Kaschit
Kashit
somebody
somebody.
Devo
Devo
demigod
demigod.
Na
Na
our
our.
Parikedayan
Parikedayan
bereaving.
bereaving.
Translation. Thereafter he asked the bull, "Oh, who are you? Either the bull as wide as the white lotus or a demigod." Hare Krishna Saikat Prabhu. You have lost your... That was not part of the shloka. I was just saying Hare Krishna to my friend. You have lost your 3 legs and are moving on one only. If you are some demigod and causing us bereavement in such a form of a bull. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. At least up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, nobody could imagine such wretched conditions of the cow and the bull. Maharaj Parikshit was therefore astonished to visualize such awkward scene. He inquired, therefore, whether the bull was not some demigod assumed such wretched condition indicated the future of the cow and the bull. Najatu korevendram
Najatu Karavendram
Dordanda parimbite
Dordandam Parirambite
Bhutale anutapanti
Bhutale Nupadan Satin
Asmin vinane praninam sucha
Asmin Vinate Praninam Sucha Najatu Kauravendrinam
Najatu korevendram
Dordandada parirambite.
Dordanda parirambite.
Bhutale nupatanti asmin.
Bhutale anutapanti asmin.
Vinate praninam sucha.
Vinate praninam sucha.
Nayatu kaura vendranam.
Najatu kurer vendram.
Dordam pararirambite.
Dordanda parirambite.
Bhutale no pantyasmin.
Bhutale nupatanti asmin.
Vinate praninam sucha.
Nivate prananinam sucha.
Najatu kaura vendranam.
Najatu kurer vendram.
Dordanda parirambite.
Dordanda parirambite.
Bhutale nupatanti asmin.
Bhutale
Anutapanti asmin.
Vinate praninam sucha.
Vinate praninam sucha. Na,
No.
not.
No.
Jatu,
Jatu.
at any time.
At any time.
Korevendranam.
Korevendram.
Of the kings in the Kuru dynasty.
Of the kings of the Kuru dynasty.
Dordanda,
Dordanda.
strength of arms.
Strength of arms.
Parirambit,
Parirambit.
protected by.
Protected by.
Bhutale,
Bhutale.
on the surface of the earth.
On the surface of the earth.
Anutapanti,
Anupanti.
bereave.
Believe.
Asmin,
Asmin.
up until now.
Up until now.
Vina,
Vina.
save and accept.
Save and accept.
Te,
Te.
thou.
Thou.
Praninam,
Tarina.
of the living being.
Of the living being.
Sucha,
Sucha.
tears in the eyes.
Tears in the eyes.
Translation, for the first time I have seen you only bereaving with tears in the eyes in the kingdom, well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. Otherwise, on the surface of the earth, nobody has ever shed tears on account of royal negligence. Purport by His Divine Grace. Protection of life by the state administration for both the human being and the animals is the first and foremost duty of the government. The government must not make any discrimination in such principles of state duty, and it is simply horrible for a pure-hearted man that he has to see organized way of animal killing by the state in this age of Kali. Maharaj Parikshit was lamenting the tears in the eyes of the bull, and he was astonished to see the unprecedented thing in his good kingdom. Both man and animals were equally protected so far life was concerned. That is the way of God's kingdom. Om Agyantirinandasya Gyanadana Shalakiyam Chakshanan Veridam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my dark night with the torch of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Enjoy.
Hare Krishna. So, there are some foolish people, Hare Krishna Jagannath Prabhu.
Haribu.
There are some foolish people, they say that our spiritual master is a racist and a sexist. They say like that. Srila Prabhupada made some statements that people misunderstand, and they've drawn conclusion without consideration, out of envy. It is out of envy. So it is very unfortunate that people are blaspheming like that. I have seen this on the internet. Many criticize, even in a debate I recently had, this person, he brought it up. He started offending. So, let's see what is a racist, what it means in a dictionary. A person who shows or feels discrimination or prejudice against people of other races, or who believes that a particular race is superior to another. Is it a race? So we have different races. Right? You have the black man, white man, yellow man, red man, and a special Mexicano man. Also, you have a special race, and the Slovakian, and a special Slovakian race. So this is completely a bodily consideration. Completely. Just like they have these, the Nazi, Hitler, they were on the bodily platform completely. The first teaching Srila Prabhupada is always emphasizing is that we're not this body. He made this statement innumerable times. So how can you say that Srila Prabhupada is a racist? What is this nonsense? Actually, we're all racist. Without Krishna consciousness, everyone is a racist. Why? Because without Krishna consciousness, you must act on the bodily platform of life. Even the impersonalists, even the Mayavadis, they also calculate on the bodily platform. Oh, I have a body that passes stool and urine and it's sweating and it's so much disturbance. So when Krishna comes in a body, they must be a material body. They also conclude foolishly like that. Krishna says, Avajaninti mamudam manusimtanam mashitam. Fools and rascals, they call me an ordinary man when I descend in this form. So don't think that this is some kind of a special thing, the racism, that everyone is a racist. Might be a big racist, or might be a little racist, but so long we're on the bodily platform, we will act for our selfish purposes. We will make this preference. My body is the most important. Whether from the racial point of view, nationalistic point of view, gender point of view, like that. Sometimes in devotional circles also, they have this discrimination. Oh, you are a junior devotee, you cannot speak. Only seniors. You have not taken a cookie from Prabhupada's hand, so you cannot understand the Siddhanta. Only by my touch, special touch, I got special mercy from Prabhupada. They also say like that. Some also bodily platform, bodily conception of life. So Prabhupada made a statement. Let's see that statement. Let's not shy away from the challenge. You know this? They accuse Prabhupada from being racist.
Well, from you said now I understood. Yes.
You have not heard of this before, eh?
No.
Okay, so here we go. It's from a conversation called Varnashram system must be introduced. See, why Prabhupada wanted to establish Varnashram? Do you know? Why was he eager?
I'm just speculating, so I don't know. I can't say I know.
Take a guess.
The ashram, everybody can be engaged according to his propensity.
Yes, exactly. Not that everyone has to be a brahmana. There's another nonsense. Everyone must be a brahmana. There are varieties. And everyone can reach the supreme destination, provided he dedicates the result of his activities to Krishna's service. That is okay. So, yes, Prabhupada made the Hare Krishna movement, but he considered that the general mass of people should also be benefited. So they should be guided how to perform their occupation very nicely in an organized way. So there's a benefit. Nowadays there's a benefit for the rich capitalist. They exploit, they take all the money, and people are being enslaved and commit sinful activities. Very unhappy and depressed. So we want to establish a new type of society where everyone is engaged in the service of Krishna, spiritually fulfilled. Minimize the work as much as possible so no one has to work. Increase the foodstuff, prasadam, free prasadam distribution. Like that. This is our program. Okay, so we're going to read from that conversation. Okay, Hariswari says, because even the Yavanas and Mlechas were following the Kshatriya system in Krishna's time. Just like Jarasandha, he had all the chivalrous respect of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is a fighter in the Vedic society. The Varnashram system consists of 4 Varnas. Brahmanas, the intellectuals; Kshatriyas, the politicians or managers; Vaishyas, the businessmen and the farmers; and Shudras, regular workers. So Hariswari says, Hariswari is a disciple of Prabhupada. He had all the chivalrous respect of a Kshatriya, even though he was a demon. But nowadays, everybody is, no one is, now Prabhupada cuts in, everybody is Shudra. Nobody is Brahmana. Nobody is. Hariswari, no. Prabhupada, Shudra is to be controlled only. They're never given to be freedom. Just like in America, the blacks were slaves. They were under control. And since you have given them equal rights, they are disturbing, most disturbing, always creating a fearful situation. Uncultured and drunkards. What training they have got? They have got equal right? That is best to keep them under control as slaves. But give them sufficient food, sufficient cloth. Not more than that. Then they'll be satisfied. Now Hariswari is asking, if that is done, then how will those who have some potential to be educated, how will we recognize them? Prabhupada, either educate them or control them. Give them facility of education. But there is no education at all. Even for the whites, there is no education. So we are stressing on the point of education. You educate certain section as Brahmana, certain section as Kshatriya, certain section as Vaishya. In that education, we don't discriminate because he's coming of a Shudra family. Take education, be qualified. Then you talk, not by votes. You see how these rascals are taking out of context this whole conversation? Srila Prabhupada is explaining the Varnashram system. This Varnashram system is explained in the Vedas. This is not a Prabhupada's some kind of a concoction. It's there in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is accepted by all the classes of scholars, professors, religionists. You want to fight against Prabhupada, you're fighting against the Bhagavad Gita. That is a religious, religious discrimination, persecution. You can't say now that, oh, the Bhagavad Gita is bogus. Huh? You can't say that. Bhagavad Gita represents a book of knowledge for 1 billion people, at least. Those who are Hindus, they are accepting the Bhagavad Gita as their scripture. So you can't just say, oh, this is bogus, this is racism, so we're going to destroy the Bhagavad Gita. Just like they wanted to do in Russia. They wanted to ban Bhagavad Gita. Nonsense. It didn't pass. Even in Russia, such a stupid law didn't pass. How can you ban the Bhagavad Gita? That's one of the most ancient books in the world. You rascal. You nonsense. Chatur Maya, what is that? Chatur Varna Maya system. Guna Karma Vibhagasa. Krishna explains there are 4 classes of men. It is not artificially divided by race. This is not what Prabhupada is saying here. That the blacks are Shudras. That's not what he says. He's giving an analogy. And just like the black people, they've artificially created equal rights. Artificially. First of all, why they have imported the black people to America? Why did they go and take them from Africa? That's one nonsense. Number one nonsense. Exploitation. And then the problem increases. Now you take people from a different culture and you try to take them as equal. See, this is another discrimination. You do not recognize the difference. You want to make equal. You're forcing them to be something else than they are. They have different culture, different manners, everything different. And you're forcing them. You must be like the white. Isn't that discrimination? Huh? Rascal number 1. Kick on your face 1,000,000 times. So we should understand scientifically what Prabhupada says here. Not like a mudha. You take somebody, oh, he's a racist. Such a mudha you are. Whoever says it, he is a big nonsense, number 1. You should immediately kick on his face. And here, Prabhupada says, either educate them or control them. What is that control? What is that slavery? What is that Shudra slavery? It's simply sticking with the word slave. What slave means to you doesn't mean to Prabhupada. And in very culture, Shudras are taken care of better than now the people are being taken care of by the government. They're given free shelter, free housing, free food, free clothes. So, is that very bad? Now the white people are living worse, in worse conditions than the slaves in the Varnashram community. They're not slaves that you beat them or something. You take care of them as though they were your children. So much ignorance. You have no idea what is this noble Varnashram system. You have no idea. You're rascal number 1. Foolish. You're a fool and you're expressing opinion on things that you have no idea of. That means you are a rascal. You should be kicked on the face. You should be immediately locked in a prison and kicked. Because you are spoiling the great work Srila Prabhupada has done. Of course, you cannot spoil anything. What your nonsense arguments will do. Only fools can believe such nonsense. Any intelligent person will read this passage in a context. So Prabhupada says, everyone, the opportunity of education is for everyone. Blacks, whites, doesn't matter. Everyone should be given the opportunity. If he cannot educate himself, if he cannot follow the principles, sometimes, for example, Shudras, they have tendency for intoxication. intoxication and illicit sex. Shudras sometimes they indulge. So that's okay, you can do that. But work hard. Work hard. And no money should be given. See, why this alcohol problem is that? Because you're giving money. Why you need money? Sometimes homeless people, they also beg, please give me money. And you call him, well, come for the feast. You're hungry? Come for the feast to the temple. No, I want money. Why you need money? I want money. Why? Because the rascal is going to buy intoxication. So you're giving to that person, you're giving him money, you are digging his grave. That is your so-called charity. You see, so the first duty of the government, of the ruler, is to give protection. Not just humans, but even the animals, even the cows. That is exemplified by Maharaj Parikshit. What to speak of any racism or such low-class ideologies, racism based on a race. Just see, Srila Prabhupada is the only one who is not racist because he's a liberated personality. Liberated personality, Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. He sees everyone equally. So unless you come to the position, the platform of Srila Prabhupada, you must be racist. In some small little ways, you must be racist. Because we're conditioned to think like that. For my body, for my benefit, for my race. It is all there. And because you are racist, that's why you see, oh, Prabhupada is racist. Blind man thinks everyone else is blind. Just because you're racist doesn't mean that everyone is a racist. Just because you're conditioned doesn't mean that everyone is conditioned. So the government must protect. There's no question of any exploitation. Exploitation comes when this system is deviated from its proper direction. The Varnaship system is meant to educate people and to engage them in the service of Vishnu. So when that purpose is missed, if instead of Vishnu, instead of Krishna, we worship money, or we worship some false incarnation, false leaders, just like it is in North Korea, they worship this guy, this dictator, as though he was Krishna. Then that system becomes a exploitative tool for the leaders. But that is not the fault of the system. The system is good. People are bad. Leaders are bad. This we have to replace. Otherwise the system is wonderful. So there is no question of harming even an animal like the cow. What to speak of a black person? Give all protection to the black people. Actually, all kinds of minorities, they are taking shelter in the Krishna consciousness movement. Because this materialistic dog-eat-dog society, the competition society, is so cruel, so cold, that they cannot find any place. So they're taking shelter of this Krishna consciousness movement. So many black people, so many black devotees, you can see. With Srila Prabhupada on the same photograph. Prabhupada is giving a black person sannyas. He's giving him sannyas. You know what it means, sannyas? That is the highest order of Vedic civilization. So Prabhupada is awarding to the black person. It's there on the photograph. How you can say it is a racist? Are you completely blind? You're nonsense. Have you ever seen Hitler awarding titles and rewards to Jewish people? Have you seen Hitler hanging out with Jews? Is there such a photograph? Maybe he have done, maybe occasionally with some, but it's unheard of. So how can Prabhupada be racist? He's surrounded by black-bodied devotees. There is a letter to his disciple, black-bodied disciple, is complaining that some of the white devotees are making racist comments, racist remarks. So Prabhupada said, that means they have not understood anything from Krishna consciousness philosophy. We are not this body. They have a skin disease. This is why Lord Chaitanya appeared in this world to smash this nonsense discrimination. Oh, you are Shudra. Oh, you cannot come to the temple. Oh, you cannot chant Hare Krishna. You cannot study the Vedas. You cannot be a guru. You cannot. All these smarta Brahmins, they would introduce these discriminatory rules. So Lord Chaitanya appeared to smash all of that. So we're always smashing the discrimination and racism. It's completely against. This Krishna consciousness movement is completely against racism and casteism and all these. Just as Prabhupada says, equal opportunity for everyone. For everyone. And if you cannot practice Krishna consciousness as a Brahmana in a Brahminical way, then you can work. That's okay, that's fine. You should not be given so much responsibility, so much power. Not even money. Why do you need money? You look at people who have money, and with that money they destroy themselves. They buy all kinds of nonsense. And they destroy themselves. Sometimes you see in America so many fat people. Because they get money and they don't know what to do, so they buy all kinds of garbage food. And they have 200 kg, 300 kg. Horrible. I saw a video on YouTube. A little boy, 20 years old, I don't know, so fat that he wouldn't fit into the bathtub. His father had to bathe him in a big pool outside of the house. So fat. So this is not a solution. Oh, simply give them money and let them. No, you have to take care properly. You have to give them proper food, proper clothing, and you have to engage them. So many people are unemployed. This is a failure of the government. Complete failure. These people in the government posts are complete losers. Incapable of doing anything. They're just making a big show and drawing big salaries. And people are suffering. And then when you say, oh, well, this is not slavery. And it is the slavery. You have so much debt. You have to work hard even if you don't want. You have to because you have a big debt. So it is your illusion that you're not a slave. You're as much slave as the black people in the 18th century, not 17th century. As much of a slave. So don't get intimidated by these rascals who say Prabhupada is a racist. It's so off. Prabhupada has come here to teach us. You are not the body, you're not black or white. And these rascals, what do they do? Oh, he's a racist. Just see how foolish people are. Prabhupada is the only one who actually understands the root of racism. But because these people themselves are racist, that's why. Why are you finding fault? Oh, he's a racist. Because you yourself are racist. It is like that. So we have to explain to these nonsense people. They never quote this second part where Prabhupada says equal opportunity should be given to everyone. They don't read that. That is not so spicy for them. Pick some quote out of context and then make a theory. And then foolish people also, they believe that. Give them facility of education. In In that education, we don't discriminate because he's coming of a Shudra family or black family, you can say. We don't make discrimination. We never make. So, yeah. Another charge they have is that Prabhupada is a sexist. Sexist means that he thinks that one gender is less than the other. And he considered the woman to be a less of a being. Another nonsense idea. It's not true. Because a woman, man, spirit, soul. There's spirit, soul. There's no difference in the spiritual platform. On the bodily platform, there might be some difference. That doesn't mean that now someone, let's say, okay, women, they're less intelligent. That's a fact. Now that doesn't mean that she's a less of a being. Simply, it means that she has a different role in a society. That's all. It's not that she has no meaning in a society. She should be eliminated, like Hitler would eliminate the Jews. Not like that. So much nonsense these people are saying. So we should counteract. There's a great blasphemy of a pure devotee. This is worse than blaspheming Krishna. This is the greatest sin. There cannot be any greater sin than blaspheming a pure devotee. You tell them, you blaspheme Krishna, that's okay, but don't blaspheme a pure devotee. Because there's no chance for you. If you blaspheme Krishna, you can be liberated by the mercy of devotees. But if you blaspheme a pure devotee, there's no question. No one can help you. Just like Durvasha Muni, he was also begging for forgiveness. He was trying to get relief from this offense. He went to Lord Shiva, he went to Brahma, ultimately he went even to Krishna. But even Krishna could not rectify the offense. Unless he begged for forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj, who he offended, there was no question of getting relief. So these people are going straight to hell. Straight to hell, rest assured. Anyone who blasphemes a pure devotee, either by words or in the mind. Anyone who considers that a pure devotee is an ordinary man, anyone who says a pure devotee has heart attacks, straight to hell, yes sir. Yamadutas are waiting, rest assured. Straight to hell. There cannot be a more grievous offense than committing offenses against a pure devotee. So we must counteract this blasphemy for their sake and for the sake of Krishna consciousness preaching. Don't be a fool. Don't be a dull-headed. Oh, Prabhupada is blaspheming, that's okay. I take my prasadam in peace. You must protest. You must. Otherwise you're not sincere. Otherwise you're simply taking advantage of Prabhupada's mercy. You must. Look at the example of Jagai and Madai. They were blaspheming Lord Nityananda. So Lord Chaitanya, who is the author of Shikshastakam prayers, where he says, Trinadapi sunichena, tarodapi saishnuna. He said you should be more tolerant than a tree and more humble than a blade of grass. That same Lord Chaitanya wanted to kill them, invoking Sudarshan Chakra. He wanted to kill them, kill these rascals. Are you blaspheming a pure devotee? Okay, that's it. I'm going to kill you, you rascals. So of course we cannot do that. We cannot kill these rascals because there will be a problem, social problem. But at least you counteract through logic and arguments. You can immediately say this. You quote this passage of Prabhupada's conversation and you challenge them. Why are you taking out of context, you rascal? Why are you cheating? Why are you making up things about our spiritual master? You dishonest rogue. Just like Maharaj Parikshit would challenge Kali. We also have to be like that. You have to challenge these representatives of Kali. What you doing, you rascal? Huh? Because people will follow these rascals. If these rascals are speaking, then the general mass will follow their advice. You must be vocal. You must speak out. We must be heard. The bodies must be heard. You must go. Otherwise, why are we hearing so much from Srila Prabhupada? You are hearing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so much you're hearing. But you're not chanting, you're not preaching, you're not repeating, then you're a bottleneck. You are simply a bottleneck. There's a bottle, right? A wine bottle. You have like that, then it goes into the neck. So you're the neck. When you turn the bottle upside down, the water goes very slowly because of the bottleneck. So Prabhupada is giving you so much mercy and you bottleneck. You don't let the mercy out. You don't preach. What is this? Then you become a kripana, miser. Don't be afraid. You will not lose anything. If you share this knowledge with others, you will not lose it. Quite the opposite. If you do not share, you will forget the knowledge. You will misunderstand the knowledge. That's how it works. You must. So we must protest. Must go on these forums. Now everyone is on Facebook, on the social media. So don't waste time. Don't change your profile picture 1 million times a day. Don't do this. Go and preach to these nonsense. Do it. They will blaspheme, they'll call you ill names. So what? So what? Are you so puffed up that you cannot tolerate little offenses on your address? Just see. You cannot tolerate when people blaspheme you, but when people blaspheme Srila Prabhupada, oh, that's okay. I am not qualified. As someone touches your hair, you immediately become agitated. Oh, what are you doing? How dare you? Oh, no. So for your own selfish reasons, you're ready to fight. And when they blaspheme your spiritual master, you're sitting down peacefully. What is this? Nonsense. Then you're a big nonsense. So we must explain to people what is our program, our Varnashram system, how it works. It is a new thing. So naturally people will be skeptical, and these rascals will try to intimidate. Don't listen to them. They want to make everyone slave. They're racist, they're sexist. They want to enslave the women. These demons, they will immediately try to spread propaganda against Krishna consciousness movement. So you must go and you say, no, it is not like that. You must explain. If you're silent, then why should people accept you? Just because of your beautiful smile, you think that they're going to accept Krishna consciousness because you're smiling nicely or chanting? They will think, oh, this is some sentimental chanting. We must preach. This is the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Not sitting down in a solitary place, checking out the Facebook messages in a solitary place, playing with your iPhone in a solitary place. No. At least if you have an iPhone, you go and preach there on the forums, on Facebook. Preach. Every day you write. Whatever little you have assimilated, you write. You don't have to be a Shastriji writing translations like Srila Prabhupada of ancient Vedic scriptures. Whatever you understand, you preach it. You express it. We must be the amplifiers of Prabhupada. Prabhupada radio. Prabhupada is broadcasting the message of Krishna consciousness. You become one of the amplifiers. Repeat. Jare deko tare kao Krishna upadesh. Amara agyana gurudhara edesha. This is the order of Lord Chaitanya. By my order, you become a guru. By preaching Srimad Bhagavatam. By preaching Bhagavad Gita. Whatever you have heard from the spiritual master, you pass it on. Don't keep it. Don't keep it. Pass it on. And you will get more knowledge from Srila Prabhupada. If you pass it on, Prabhupada will give you more. If you don't pass it on, you will be stuck. And even that little thing you understand, that will also be forgotten, as I said. That is a kripana, miser. You'll become a brahmana, liberal, charitable. This is the greatest charity, giving people Krishna consciousness. Okay? So I'll stop here. Are there any questions? Okay, we have a few comments here. Okay, Sharavana wants a link. Go to prabhupadavani.org. prabhupadavani.org. You can find all the speeches there. Okay, Prabhu? Ekananta Mataji says, I have seen this discrimination in some temple in India. Very bad. Yes? Very low class. Bodily conscious. That is why Prabhupada went to the West. Because the Indians completely misguided by these caste Brahmins. All right. Anything else? Krantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol.
Om Mr. Paraya Krishna Vishtahi Bhutri Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Samirindra Mare Namaste Saraswati Dev Gauravani Brachari Nani Vishesha Shunamani Brachari.
So you can upload this on the internet immediately. Should go on the internet. Hare Krishna.